Shalom, first and foremost. As always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles, that great millstone who taught me this truth, and a sincere shalom out there to the elect, teaching us truth in all honesty and sincerity in these last days. Okay, I'm the brother Yasharon, and this is video getting into the topic of how Israelites are going to look like the other nations. Okay, and this is a topic that gets revisited every now and then. Okay, because it is such a big issue, and the scriptures talk about the mystery of the Gentiles. And even when that was written, fast forwarded to today, it's still one of the big mysteries of the Bible. Okay, and I know brothers and sisters have heard the apostles, break down the history of the old school and the split, and a lot of that had to do with Cornelius. Okay, which is pretty much the centerpiece of that part of the doctrine. But you had disagreements over that part of the doctrine back then, and even though it's 2022, you still have okay, you still have those same divisions amongst Israel. Let me start off with Acts the 10th chapter. Acts 10 and 1. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, and the word Cornelius just means colonel, okay, or seed. A centurion of the band called the Italian man, okay, and if you look up your history on the Roman armies, okay, there were a lot of Roman centurions that didn't necessarily look like Romans. Okay, they didn't look like Edomites. And when you get into the history of the Roman Empire and Roman armies and Roman legions, a lot of them were Jakes, man. Okay, there's plenty of documentation and artwork that proves that. Okay, a devout man, and when we look up that word devout, okay, I believe it's usabes in the Greek, and it means someone who is pious or dutiful towards one's faith. Okay, so Cornelius was a devout man. He was a man of faith. Okay, so that alone should tell you that what? That he was a Jake, man. I mean, why else would that even be in the scriptures? You guys, some of your the way that you think is just, I don't know, man. Y'all's spiritual thought processes are all messed up. Okay, now we're gonna go from there to Psalm 10 and 4. Psalm 10 and 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance. Okay, because a lot of people say that Cornelius was an Edomite because he was a Roman, blah, blah, blah. Okay? The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. So Cornelius, who was a devout man, he sought after the Most High. Okay? The Most High is not in all his thoughts. Now let's go back to Acts 10. 10 and 2. A devout man and one that feared the Most High with all his house. Now the scripture just said that the wicked, all right, don't seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in their thoughts. Right? Did we not just read that? But Cornelius feared the Most High with all his house. So that means he was constantly thinking of the Most High. He was constantly in fear of displeasing Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to the Most High always. Okay? So just these two verses, pretty much it's open shut. Right? And then we go to third verse, right? He saw in a vision, evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of the Most High coming into him and saying unto him, Cornelius. So an angel of the Most High even went up to Cornelius, man. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thy alms are come up for a memorial before the Most High. Okay? Now, do the scriptures not say something along the lines that the Most High does not answer the prayers of the wicked? Alright? Slacky, let me find it. 1 second. It says in Proverbs 15 and 29, the Lord is far from the wicked. Which means that what? He's far from hearing their prayers. He's far from acknowledging their prayers. Okay? But he heareth the prayer of the righteous. So if Cornelius' prayers came up as before memorial unto the Most High, okay, and he was an Edomite, then that would mean that Edomites can be righteous. Does it not? Proverbs 28 and 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. Okay? We know who turns their ear from the law. The Edomites, okay? They pretty much want to do everything opposite of what the law says. But the point is in Proverbs 15 and 29. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. Okay? So when we read back in verse 4, and when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thy alms are come up for a memorial before the Most High. Okay? So, what we can get from that is, alright, well, like it says in, I believe it's Ephesians 2 and 8, that, in fact, we're going to get it. That, for by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High. Okay, so faith is a gift. Okay? Faith is a gift, and it's not given to Edomites. It's only given to Israelites. That's why it says, and that not of yourselves. We can't create our own faith. We can't we can't build our faith on our own accord, okay? It's up to the Most High to give us an increase of that gift, okay? It's up to the Most High to give us an increase of that gift. So, with that being said, okay, if someone is doing something, let's say a man is in the camp and he may not look like uh, your typical Israelite, okay? But he's doing the works and he's showing his faith, okay? That means that he's an Israelite because he cannot do that on his own accord, okay? He cannot do that on his own accord, all right? Then you got all these idiots that'll say, talk about how Israelite foreigners, they'll point out somebody who looks like someone of the other nation, then they'll immediately call him an agent, and that's so silly and that's so freaking stupid, man. All right, it's so stupid. If you were to hire a spy or an agent provocateur to infiltrate a group, wouldn't you pick somebody who fits in? Would you pick somebody who fits right along in? Or would you pick somebody who doesn't fit into the group? They'd be like if the CIA wanted to infiltrate the Black Panthers and they sent a white man in there to try and find out what the leadership is doing behind the scenes. You know, that's so silly and it doesn't make any sense at all, man. It's what you call grasping at straws, because it's really what a lot of you guys have been doing. And here's the thing: a lot of y'all are hypocrites. Okay, a lot of y'all are hypocrites, man, because there was a lot of camps that, when I first came into the truth, okay, camp leaders and those in leadership positions, or whether they're high in command or whatever, okay, they didn't necessarily have to be the leaders of other Israelite groups like HOI and so on and so forth, okay, who used to get on me for how I looked, right? But they don't do it no more. Well, hey, now they have brothers that look like Israelite foreigners in their camps, man. You see the how hypocritical they look. You see how hypocritical they look when, even just back a few years ago, they were hesitant to let so-called light skins in their camp, but yet they got men that look like so-called Moabites and Ishmaelites and Edomites and so on and so forth in their camps now. I guess it's okay when it works out in your favor, right? Once the tithe money starts coming in, then the doctrine changes. Okay, and it's a beautiful thing because, I mean, it's a beautiful thing because a lot of that stuff that a lot of that stuff was going on back then during the time of Acts and during the time of Yahushua, man. It's just the same things repeating over and over again. That's really what a lot of the scriptures are kind of like a the scriptures are kind of like a blueprint of history, man, because this saying history repeats itself. There's a lot of things in the scriptures that have repeated themselves throughout time and history, man. A lot of examples, stories. Okay, they may have had different names, different time period. Maybe even involving completely different nations. Okay, but there's a lot of stories that have repeated themselves. Okay, all this stuff going on with these different camps, that was going on back then. Okay, it's just that they weren't called GMS and Sakari and ISUPK back then. It's the same actors, right? It's the same actors, just in a different bow dig. Okay, just in a different just in a different form, uh, a different stage of reincarnation, if we should say that. Okay, but really, you guys, when you do those things, you don't consider what you really do, man. And there's never been any, clearing up of it. See, when these camps, they got their head up their ass. Because not every camp has their head up their ass, but talk about these camps to have their head up their ass. Okay, when there's a problem with their doctrine and they fix it, they try and do it under the rug, you know, like they're trying to keep it a secret that they were wrong the whole time, and now all of a sudden they're changing something. Okay, they try and what is it called? They try and sweep it under the rug, man. Okay, and then they look and they say, "Oh, hey, look, we got Israelites look like the other nations in our camp." Or they'll say, "Oh, look, the mark of the MOTB is a implantable chip." Okay, they'll say stuff like that, but a few years ago they weren't teaching that, and nor is there any videos on them clearing things up. Okay, this is Matthew 18:6. Whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me. So all those brothers that you offended, that you personally, that hey, some of you even personally attacked them, man. Some of them you even personally attacked them, man. You sent your little scriptural hitmen onto those brothers' comment boards, leaving all kinds of nasty comments, trying to discourage them from teaching the truth. You know, you had some of your guys, and I'm not pointing out any individual camp, but you had some of your guys make threats, okay, to some of those brothers, man. But now all of a sudden they're allowed to be in your camp because you need tithes, right? You need tithes. This is Matthew 18:6. Whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck. And I think I might wrap it up on this scripture, man. Okay, Lord willing, I can keep going on this, or Lord willing, do a follow up. Okay, but yeah, but whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, and that belief was given in the form of a gift of faith. Okay, the scriptures talk about how in fact, let me just get it. It's in okay. Malachi 1:14. But cursed be the deceiver which hath in his flock a male, and voweth and sacrificeth unto the Lord a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, saith the Lord of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen. And the scriptures say that the righteous run to the name of the Lord, man, because it's a strong tower that keeps them safe. Okay? So that name is an indicator, I should say. The usage of that name is an indicator of uh, who an Israelite is, man. Okay, that's another thing, man. The Lord just doesn't give His name to anybody, and you know when you see guys like vocab, and not just vocab but other guys out there that may use the name every once in a while. Okay, they don't do it out of faith, and they don't do it repeatedly. Okay, in fact, when is the last time they've heard vocab say the name of the Lord? Okay, so if a brother's in a camp and he's calling on the name, right? It says that the righteous calleth unto the name of the Lord. Not the wicked, not the other nations. All right. Matthew 18:6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, okay, and in His name, which those are both gifts. The name and faith is a gift. All right. It takes faith to really call on the name of the Lord. It were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. So because you guys didn't go out of your way to repent and acknowledge your offense, okay, that's what's going to happen to a lot of you, man. You know, you thought it was all slick and cool a couple years ago to offend a brother that might look like another nation, and you sat there and thought, ain't nothing gonna happen to me. He ain't even a Jake. And it's another lesson entirely, man. You gotta be careful what words you use, man. You know, words have they carry vibration, and they carry power. Okay. Anyways, you know, you guys got a price to pay for that, because you never repented full circle, man. You never acknowledged your offense. You never apologized to those who you offended. All right, you just swept it under the rug and kept it moving, like you never even did it. Like you never even did it. You never even admitted that you were wrong when you did it. Woe unto the world because of offenses, verse 7. Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come. But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh. So there's destruction coming to you, because you honestly, you got offended by the word, man. You got offended by the truth. Okay? And you offended the little ones. But with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakonash. All right. Well, hey, the scriptures say in Deuteronomy 28 that I believe it was the 64th verse, where it says that our people will be scattered across the four corners of the earth. Okay, and then you go to James 1:1, and James wrote that letter to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Okay, James was acknowledging that the curse had taken place, that the curses were taking place, and that his people were scattered, that they didn't know who they were. All right, and then you read Acts, the second chapter, and all those Jakes came from different nations, man, different lands. They spoke different languages. Now, what is there to prove that I mean, they didn't all look the same. They didn't all look the same. All right? But with that, till next time, shalom.